You may already be using Google Meets as a video conferencing tool to meet with students, but it also can be used if you'd like to make a video or a tutorial to share with your students. So let's look at how. So let's go into the Waffle and start a Meet. So you can start with any nickname. So the process is very similar to how you would create a Meet with students. So I'm just going to turn off the camera because I'm just going to use a talking head as part of my recording and join. Now, before I start to record my Meet or my tutorial, I am going to present an entire screen with a slide that I've created in Google Slides. This just helps establish what the tutorial is going to be about, so all students can see this when they first come in. So I generally will have that up. Once I have that up, I can now begin to record. So at this point, it's recording that Digital Presentation Methods Google Meets, so the students know what they're coming into. But we can use it for so many more things. So if I was to help students, perhaps if they needed some instruction in navigating through a website, so perhaps we were using Studio Code, here it is. I might create an instructional video or a tutorial around how to manage the site. So I click on OK, and here I have to click blocks together, right? Something like that. What the sequence of events are so that students can see what's to be done. Here I've got another tab. Here I have an opened basically whiteboard using an app called Jamboard, which is available in your apps, and I also have a video tutorial for that if you'd like to see that one. But this Jamboard app opens up, and maybe I needed to do some instructional video around math, so I'm maybe looking at integers, and I'm going to create an integer problem. So what's 2 plus -3? I might have these blues represent negatives, reds positives. And so as you can see, I'm just creating, and I would be speaking to this as students would answer, or students would see, I guess, a tutorial on negative and positive integers. So Jamboard works really well for that. Once I'm done with this, let's go back to our Meet. And I think we're about ready to stop recording, so I would conclude the session. I would click on the 3 buttons, and I would stop my recording. And stop. Often the question now is okay, I've finished my recording, where does it go? Well, it takes a bit of time to render and process, but what you will receive is an email in your Gmail in which your completed recording can be found. And it gives you then a link that leads to your Google Drive. So eventually what will happen, it'll end up in your Drive. So let's just go to our Drive. So after I receive the email notification, I'll know to go here. And in your Drive, it actually creates a folder. And the folder is called Meets Recordings. Or Meet Recordings, pardon me. And there it is, Meet Recordings. You'll see I've done a number of Meet recordings here. I've renamed them, but generally when they come into your Meet, they're given a file name that's a number of letters and digits that are really meaningless. So you'll have to rename them, and so to rename anything in Drive, it's just a simple click, and then the 3 stacked dots, and then renaming it. You can now take that video, and you can then share it, just as you would with anything else in Google. So we click on the share, so we could share it with individuals. We could also copy the link and post the link in our Google Classroom. We could also put the video directly into a Google site. So that's how we might use Meets to create video tutorials in a new way that can capture screen and demonstrate all sorts of things for students. Hope you found this helpful.